Hi everyone, Ron Crider reporting for duty today. It's December the 3rd. It's a Thursday. It's my day 260. I say this every day. I can hardly believe I've done 260 of these numbers broadcasts since this pandemic began on March the 12th. I have numbers for you today. 22 days left until Christmas, 29 days left this year, 66 days left until the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl will be played this year in Tampa on February the 7th. I'm reporting from Vero Beach from my condominium here at the Victoria in Indian River Shores. Remember, I don't put any commercials in here. You can hit the skip button in order to not see those commercials if you don't want to see them. And don't forget to push the like button. I appreciate that very much. You've done very well. I'm getting a lot of good likes, and that makes me happy. That's the gasoline that keeps this engine going. Don't forget that school zone over there on Beachland Boulevard, 20 miles per hour. They mean business over there. And don't forget to get the flu shot. Alrighty, in the headline news today, Florida reported 9,994 new cases of COVID-19 on Wednesday, a day after the state officially counted at least 1 million people with infections since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. We went over 1 million cases here in the state of Florida yesterday. The state is experiencing an upward trend in positive test results that began in mid-October, which public health experts have partly attributed to the full opening of bars and restaurants in the late September time, and more testings were taking place. More testings, more positivity, and the bars and the restaurants being open. By the way, folks, you can see I'm doing this at 6:55 on Thursday morning, and I want to remind you, if you look over here on the left side of your screen, you will notice the numbers that are up there. You will also notice a time up there. That's a much different time than at 6:56 you can see in my clock there in the background. That's the time when I actually post the numbers that you're going to see up here, and those are the actual numbers that came in towards the end of the day between 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So that's why they're there, and that's why I'm not telling you what they are. Florida will continue to see a surge of new cases, according to the COVID-19 Forecast Hub. That's a website that collects predictions and models from more than 24 sources and builds and assembles forecasts. The latest projection, released on Tuesday, shows that Florida should end the week with 55,704 new cases, up from 53,470 new cases last week. Then Forecast Hub predicts 62,000 cases next week, 66,000 cases in 2 weeks, and 67,600 cases during Christmas week. This is a calculation based on 28 different models. Not good news. Not good news at all. With the new infections reported on Wednesday, the state has had a total of 1,018,160 cases. Many of these people have recovered since receiving positive test results at some point during the pandemic. The latest version of a leading COVID model by the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington projects Florida could approach 25,900 deaths by March the 1st. That means an additional 7,200 people are expected to die from COVID-19 in the next 3 months if there is no change in facial covering requirements or usage. You know what I'm going to say? Only you can slow down this pandemic. Only you can drive that number down. Yes, we are expecting to get the vaccine. We don't know when we're going to get it. We're not going to even receive approval until December the 10th from Washington to be able to actually start dispensing it, and then it will take a while for it to filter down. I do understand that the people over 80 years old, 80 or older, will be some of the people getting it, in addition to obviously the first responders. They're the first people who are going to get it. And let's face it, they may start shipping this stuff out about the 15th of December. We may start seeing it showing up here in the state of Florida. It's going to go to Miami, Jacksonville, Tampa, and Orlando first, and in those areas they'll determine who gets the vaccination first. But What I say this every day, there is light at the end of the tunnel, but we just don't know how long the tunnel is. We don't know how quickly we are going to be able to get our hands on these vaccinations. And of course, there's always a big dust up of who's going to get it. Listen, we don't care if you don't want the vaccination. You don't have to get it. That's perfectly okay with me. If you don't want to have the vaccination, that's just fine. You may end up getting COVID-19, and that would be your fault, not ours. I think that it would be great if the government mandated that everybody got it, but I don't think that will probably happen. Employers can prevent you from coming to work if you don't get the vaccine. That's probably the case. They can do that in the case of the flu. So more doom and gloom, and I apologize for that, but that's the information that I received just in the past 24 hours. Let me tell you a little bit about the weather report. This is very good. Weather is going to be warmer than it was on yesterday and today. For Thursday, we expect to have partly cloudy, high about 73 degrees during the daytime on Thursday, winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then tonight, partly cloudy skies will give way to clouds later in the night, low 63 degrees, winds east-southeast 10 to 15 miles per hour. The chance of rain tonight is about 17%. The chance of rain during the daytime today, by the time you get this, it will probably be too late to know about that, but that was about 11%. And then tomorrow on Friday, about a 15% chance of rain, considerable cloudiness, 79 degrees, winds south-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Okay, we're going to pop right in here to the numbers. Don't forget again to push the like button. I do appreciate you doing that. I will do shout-outs today. I am going to bring you the numbers, and at the end of this, we have all this doom and gloom going on. You know what I do? I watch a lot of Hallmark. You're going to say, yeah. Well, of course, what would we expect, Crider, from you? Hallmark, of course. Well, there's a reason why I watch Hallmark, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Hallmark. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about somebody you may have never heard of, because you're probably too young to have heard of her, but her name was Grandma Moses, and she painted the postcards, or the greeting cards for the Hallmark Card Company. I'll tell you a little bit of a story about Grandma Moses when we come back at the end of this video, along with the shout-outs today. Back in a flash with the numbers. Here come the numbers. Alrighty, folks, let's take a look at the numbers now for the past 48 hours for the United States. Here we go. Illinois in first place, or worst place, 266. The entire United States, let's go back here to the beginning, the entire United States, 2,875 48 hours ago. Again, Illinois in worst place or first place, 266. Texas in second place with 212. Pennsylvania in third place with 187. Ohio in fourth place with 123. California in fifth place with 120. Then we go to Kansas in sixth place with 119. Indiana in seventh place with 109. Florida, we were in eighth place 48 hours ago with 90. Colorado reported 84. Huge number for Colorado. 84 in ninth place. And they have less than 6 million people in that state. Michigan in 10th place with 83. Wisconsin in 11th place with 82. We'll go down here to Minnesota in 13th place at 77. New York in 14th place with 74. Let's go down just a little bit further for Jersey. Oh my goodness gracious, look at Jersey in 17th place with 56, and I have a feeling that number is going to get higher tomorrow. We'll go down just a teeny bit further and go to our neighbor Georgia in 20th place with 52. How about Connecticut? Connecticut in 22nd place with 51. We'll go down to Massachusetts in 27th place with 46. Maryland in 28th place with 42. Down just a teeny bit further to Kentucky. Kentucky in 31st place with 37. Idaho in 33rd place with 31. And then Iowa. Iowa's in 36th place with 18. Utah in 38th place with 16. Rhode Island in 42nd place with 11. New Hampshire in 44th place with 9. Then Maine in 46th place with 4. And we'll go down just a little bit further. Vermont was in 48th place with 2. Wyoming had 0, Alaska had 0, and Hawaii had 0. And those are the numbers for the entire United States for 48 hours ago. Now we're going to take a look at what we call the global view. USA cases, 14,053,183. 14,053,183. USA deaths, 274,648. 274,648. Global cases, this is the huge number, 64,964,775. And global deaths, 1,501,076. Alrighty, folks, I told you at the beginning of this video that I was going to tell you a little bit about how my interest in Hallmark and how I got interested in Hallmark cards and Hallmark television. My folks used to own a store in Pennsylvania, in York, Pennsylvania, back in the 40s and 50s, and they had one of the largest selections of Hallmark cards in the United States. That got me to be able to go to the Hallmark Greeting Card Company in Kansas City and sit in J.C. Hall's office behind his desk. I was a young guy at the time. It was quite an exciting period of time in my life, at least for me. And Hallmark then got into the TV business, and they had a TV show called The Mall and the Night Visitors, the Hallmark Hall of Fame, that started, I think, around 1951. It was the first opera on TV. By the way, Hallmark also owns Crayola, which is obviously the crayon company. And here's a couple of pictures of these various Hallmark stars. Everybody knows what the Hallmark stars are. But anyway, at that particular time in 1950, 50 or 49 or 50, this gal by the name of Grandma Moses started painting. She started painting at 78 years old. Her name was really Anna Mary Robertson Moses. She was born in September the 7th, 1860. But here she is. And these are some of the pictures that she painted, and then they took these pictures and made greeting cards out of them. During that period of time, in the 50s, these were the best-selling Christmas cards. Of all the Christmas cards that were sold in the 50s, these were the very, very best cards. You can take a look here and see some of these. They were mostly winter scenes, although she did some Thanksgiving scenes as well. But most of these depicted the countryside with snow. This was just kind of a promo piece that they put out. But most of the ones that obviously at Christmas time had a lot of snow in them, and they were countryside. And she was raised, I believe, in upstate New York, if I'm not mistaken. But it was an interesting time in my life, and then it was an interesting time when Hallmark decided to get into the TV business, and they started the Hallmark Hall of Fame, and they broadcast the first opera on TV, live opera by Gino Palaminotti, and it was quite an interesting show on TV at that time, live on TV, and they were promoting these cards by Grandma Moses. So that's how I kind of got my interest in the Hallmark Channel, and I've always been interested in Hallmark, and I like the feel-good movies, and they're wonderful to watch at this time of year. So I hope I didn't bore you too much, and you young folks won't have a clue as to what I'm talking about. I mean, you've got to be in your 70s, almost 80 years old like I am, to remember any of this stuff, because at that time, Hallmark and TV was only in black and white when all these things were taking place. Anyway, that's my story for today. It just seemed like a nice little feel-good piece as we get into the Christmas holiday season. Have a great day.